they're not doing that. They're hooking up. It's a shack up, uh, hooking up culture all over the place, and then they're wondering why things are not working out. Some of the problems are because of not doing the right things in the beginning. So let's actually be honest with that. That's why all these young people. Even I talk to my kids. My kid now is in college. I tell them, I said, these things will happen no matter how well you were raised. If you don't follow the proper process, you will also have those trauma, and then you start projecting into other people and into life, thinking that's the way life is going to be. When we know that that is not the case.
Hmm.
That is what I thought.
Can I say the one thing that she also said that Aisha said is that the hookup culture, sex has been proven over and over that your mind doesn't make good decisions once you've had sex. You become attached to the person, very attached to the person, to the point where even when there are red flags, that it's like there's this blinding effect that happens. And guess what? It happens to women more than in fact, I don't even know if it happens to men, but it certainly happens to women. So they're the ones who start attaching all these beautiful things to a horrible person because the sex has caused them to be attached to the person.
Constance says it's stigmatized. Those are her words.
You say that. She said it. Red flags start feeling like Six Flags.
She said, red flags feeling like Six Flags. Tiana, what are your thoughts? What do you think?
Okay, so what do I think about what she said?
Yeah. So
what do you have?
The thing that I'm not necessarily in agreement with her, but the thing that I do like about her is how articulate she is. Like, I feel like she sat and thought about it. A lot of times when we hear these types of clips or we hear these types of things, they're just throwing out jargon, right? But she's actually articulating her point well. I don't have to agree with it, but just the way that she's presenting her case, if you will. To me, it almost sounds like she's seen something, she's experienced something, she's watched somebody go through something, and she was like, I don't want no parts of that. And I feel like that's how she's articulating it so clearly, because I seen Janie go through this and have this experience, and I've seen this turn out this way. I don't want no parts of that. So it feels like she has never experienced love, or she has and it broke her down. Like, but I feel like she's coming from a place of experience from the negative more so than having been properly treated or having seen something that was beautiful where she felt like, I want that. I feel like she's looking at something that was like, I don't want no parts of it. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we all come from a perspective, right? Like we all that's the only way we can live our lives is through our lens. That's the only lens that we have. Fortunately, sometimes, and unfortunately, sometimes. And so I think what she said is fine, and I agree with her. Like, as a single woman dating, I agree with her. But what I'll say is everybody can't think like this. Right, it can't be. I think that what happens is, like, what if every young girl think about this? Nobody would have children. How are we going to populate the next generation? How are we going to how, right? If everybody's like, I want to do me. So I think that is the biggest I was her, not necessarily like because of that, but when I was younger, I definitely, just based off my experience, the way I grew up, I was like, I don't want any children. Or if I do, I have a baby at 40, I'll Halle Berry it. That's what I kept saying. And then I moved to a city that further perpetuated that entire, like, the culture in LA is not to have children. Family, everybody is temporarily just doing all the things. Nobody can really be rooted because everybody is in pursuit of something, right? It's just this is what this town is about, temporary. Because once I get on, right, I don't want to have, so, I moved to a town that kind of, that encouraged that thought process.